Hello, everyone. Is the Prophet Michael David, aka Aries, and how do you like that thumbnail? How's the current world going for you? Who could have possibly prophesized that? So I'm gonna break this video down into three parts. The first part is God and Passover stuff and how I relate to it. The second part is my legal tax problems. And then the third part is going to be my Riemann hypothesis, like solution. I'm not going to show you everything, but I'm going to like explain it metaphorically and like if this is true, then this has to be true. So, yep, here we go. Okay, I'm going to talk real fast, but I'm going to try to take longer takes so, it's more genuine and everything. But number one, do I proclaim to be a prophet of God? Yes, I've done so many times before. Um, what are my miracles? I'm not magic. My all my miracles are mathematical things that I should not be able to do, that no human should be able to do. Approximately from November 2023 to November 2024, I solved four of the most famous outstanding mathematical conjectures. In order, they were the twin prime conjecture, the Kautz conjecture, the perfect number conjectures, and then finally the Riemann hypothesis. And currently, okay, we'll talk about the Goldbeck conjecture later. So, one of my claims as a prophet, I claim to be the Mashiach of Judaism, but it's actually Hebrewism. I claim to be the Mahdi of Islam, uh, the second prophet in Christianity. I am not Jesus nor the reincarnation of Jesus. He is from the wrong tribe to be Mashiach. I claim to be Kalki, claimed to be Emperor of the East, the not second coming, but the successor to the Yellow Emperor, who was the mortal representation of the Yellow Ancient, whereas I, because of my Aries birthday, would be the Metal Emperor, which would be the mortal embodiment of the Mother of Metals. Look it up. In Japan, I am the um, embodiment of the sun, the successor to Amaterasu. Southeast in Australia, the Earth Diver, that's the oldest one. And to the Native Americans, I'm the Pahana. I got my stone and everything. Okay, short interlude here. If you've gotten this far in the video, like, I gotta blame you for thinking this man is utterly crazy and everything, but there have been other people that have claimed to be prophets and everything, but all they do is, I actually have maths. They're at the end of the video and everything. So, how do I relate to Passover? Well, as the Paschal Lamb, my name is Aries. I was born on April 5th, 2021, at exactly an instant after midnight, a Planck second. And April 5th just happens to be the mean and average of all Passovers. So going back to 2021, the day of Armageddon was April 4th, 2021, Easter Sunday, and the last day of Passover. I was reborn on April 5th, an instant after midnight. And in 2023 was the day of Revelation, where Passover started on April 5th. And when I made all my claims that, again, you guys can go see the videos. All right, now we get into the tax problems, aka faith part of the video. And So I got some issues from the IRS and everything, and had an epiphany that I am immune from taxes as a prophet. So, and honestly, they're gonna back pay me some money for taxes I've already paid since I was a prophet, but not before that. And so I tried in good faith to contact them. First, I called them, and then, after an hour, I think it was Thanksgiving. It was the day that Liverpool played Real Madrid at Liverpool in the Champions League. It was like the day before Thanksgiving. After about an hour of automated and stuff, I finally got to a person and, talked to her for a while and told her I was a prophet and tried to explain the situation. And she put me hold on twice and then hung up on me and didn't call back. I did try look on the internet to see, you know, for people that wanted to appeal on processes, and I found that one. And so I sent them a letter and everything detailing my claims and sent it, whatever, official mail to the address that they claim to receive mail on the internet, and it got rejected. And so I guess what I'm saying is I have uh, tried to work in good faith with them. And this is just a video that people in the jury will look at in the future. But they did not do their jobs properly, and it is not my job to do their job. So, okay, and I'm gonna try to sum up more of this part in like metaphor so we can get to the math stuff and everything that I know you guys want to see and everything. But like, if they're not doing any work, I'm not doing any work. Like, I'm gonna wait till the cops show up and arrest me, and then they're going to charge me for tax evasion, which is a federal crime, a criminal crime, and everything. So I have an option of a jury, which I will take. And I mean, some of you believe I'm a prophet, probably. And I mean, with all my stuff, I'm going to bury them in information. I mean, I'm not lying everything. I haven't lied since I've been a prophet and everything. You don't think I can convince 12 people that I am a prophet? And I will tell everybody, including you, including the judge, and including the people before the potential jurors and everything. I'm only going to ask them one question. Do you believe that that God exists? There is a creator God that created this universe, multiverse, and us also. Number two, do you believe in angels? Angel by definition, and I'll define all my facts, is a messenger of God, messenger of El. That's what El means. It's Mesopotamian for deity. It means God. It's just like Mikael, like Michael in my name, or similar names. And then lastly, I'll say, do you believe in prophets, that occasionally God calls upon mortals to be anointed representatives of them? Basically, mortals that claim to be able to tell you what God commands you to do. And that's the only three questions I'm ever going to ask them. All right, enough about God and taxes. Let's talk about the sexy, sexy shit you all been waiting for, the math stuff. All right, so I was telling these two guys that I was drinking with at this bar I go to recently, watching Champions League's games. Even though Liverpool is out, but I'm trying to be invested this year, which I have been. And I showed him some of my stuff, and you know, he was pretty amazed. And I told him about all this stuff I solved and everything. We didn't really get into much God stuff and everything, at least that time. But I this analogy popped into my head about the math stuff that I had solved, and um, what I said was something like, "This is the most, mathematically speaking, the most gangster thing that I will ever say to you." But my goal was always the Riemann hypothesis. You know, The twin prime conjecture, the Kautz conjecture, and the perfect numbers conjecture just got in the fucking way. Actually, before we start this, I got one more screenshot. Tried to solve this. Remember this one, you donkeys? Okay, here we go. So, how could I solve the Riemann hypothesis when all others can? Well, in a nutshell, it's because they all tried to solve it the exactly same way for like 160 years now and everything. But what I did was I found upon the years after it, there have been some other hypotheses that have popped up that say if you solve this, it is equivalent to solving the Riemann hypothesis. And so I finally found one of those. I have to admit, in the early days, I tried to, create order out of chaos. I downloaded the Zeta Z, the Zeta Zeros, and did all my, dirty, dirty, dirty dick geometer tricks on it, and I still could not make the shit work. The my breakthrough was when I realized that exactly that I needed to find not, work on the Riemann hypothesis, but work on a problem that was equivalent to the Riemann hypothesis, and then use my dirty, dirty, dirty geometric shit on that, and then fuck that into oblivion, which is what I did. Okay, first graph, pay attention, little ones. So basically, what this graph is saying is all the circles are data points, and if the Riemann hypothesis is false, there will eventually be a data point that goes below zero all the way at the bottom. But all the data points up to there have not. And you guys can look at the equations and everything. Um, and the R square value, you can look that up yourself again and everything. But the closer it gets to one, and this is not 0.9962, the better fit this data has on the graph, and the least likely that the next data point is going to be super aberrant. Okay, so data point number two, I was trying to figure out there are some points early on, but not at the end of the graph where, it decreased a little bit. And so I did A2 minus A1 to see what that looked like. And as you can see, that, you know, it looks like there is a value that these values A2 minus 1 is harmonizing on, and that is above zero, which means not only will there not be some super aberrant thing that goes all the way down to zero from 25, even at this scale, but that eventually they won't even decrease below the previous value because it's harmonizing on that specific thing. So did I totally solve the Riemann hypothesis? Yeah. Was that the entire explanation? No, amongst others and everything. But again, you can watch a lot of the rest of the channel. So, not letting this video get that long. Um, I love you all very much, even though some of you I don't like at all. And rule number one, do not touch other people without their consent, aka do not hurt each other. And rule number two, do not try to lie. All right, I'll talk to you later.